Alright guys, quick little RT2 channel update since I haven't uploaded on this channel in a while. So, I guess pretty much, let me explain why. So I've been putting a lot of time on the main channel. You guys know I do car stuff over on the Roast Tires channel, which is where RT2 comes from. And I have finished the entirety of the Switch redesign series, retheme. It's completely finished. It's sitting outside in my bedroom as we speak. The only thing I'm really missing is a change, a little panel on the P2P dock shield I ordered. Or I have, which I'm too cheap to do right now because I'm working on other projects right now. Pretty much, I'm working on getting an editing rig right now. It's been primarily one of the reasons why I haven't uploaded this channel is because I'm trying not to put excess strain on my laptop than I already have. So what am I looking at? So I've got a couple of ideas, and pretty much this might disappoint some of you PC Master Race guys, but I'm looking in the Macs. I've been wanting to try an Apple computer for a long time now. I've used Windows my entire life. I know I started on an XP, used Vista for a little while, went to 7, I went to 8.1, I went to 10, and I've wanted to try something different. Windows is just the same old formula every time. And if you'll notice behind me, it's probably pretty obvious, I installed the Nexus dock on my Windows 10 laptop, my ROG, and that was to kind of mimic Mac OS in a way because I've always liked how Mac OS looked. I've always liked the more professional form factor it has over Windows 10. Windows 10 to me just looks like something you'd see on a tablet, really. Windows 10 just doesn't have that same professional feeling that Windows 7 and older had. At least in my opinion. So Mac is just something I've been wanting to try for a very long time, and I'm finally in a position where I have a Windows computer that can game, and I want an Apple computer that can work. That's pretty much the reason why I'm looking at Macs. If I were building it as a gaming rig, I'd be getting a gaming PC kind of set up with Windows. But I'm not. I'm building this specifically to edit. And maybe one day, depending on which one I buy, because I've got a couple options, I'll turn it into some sort of hyper gaming rig down the road. In fact, one of the computers I'm looking at costs about the same as the other Mac I'm looking at. And it just needs an external GPU, and it will be on par, if not faster, than my ROG laptop, which would be fantastic because that means I can play it and not have to worry about blue screens. Because in case you didn't know my troubled history of my ROG laptop, it tends to blue screen anytime I boot certain maps on BeamNG Drive. Sometimes when I try to play Forza Horizon 4, it has freaked out on Black Ops 3 before. When I would play that a lot, when I used to play that on PC. The majority of my PC games have blue screened this computer at least once. And every single code I've ever gotten, all the stop codes I've gotten from the blue screens are all related to video TDR failure. I've even gotten an orange screen of death, which was an interesting one. I don't get those very often, but it usually is the same video TDR failure code, but it's orange instead of blue, which I always thought was kind of crazy. I didn't know that Windows did that, but this laptop is 2 years old, and I feel like the majority of the damage done has been done by editing, and the fact that Asus poorly designed it. They have one fan cooling a 1050 Ti and an i7-7700, so, I mean, it's 7700 HQ in case you're actually, like, that curious, but one fan? Really? And especially something this big. I mean, it's a relatively large laptop. It's a 15.5 inch display. I really love the display. It's really good. Pretty much, this computer will not be treated like a computer. It'll be kind of like a game console. I have this portable desk that my mom gave me a few months ago that was primarily used by Michael, my friend Michael, whenever he'd come over with his computer. And we would be sitting in my room and playing video games on like the Xbox or the Switch or whatever. He would be in the corner editing a video on this desk. So I will be using this for like a keyboard and mouse for the new computer, and will be treated like a game console. So what am I looking at exactly? I haven't even gotten to that. So the first one is the 5.1 Mac Pro from 2010. These are dropping in price all the time. The market value seems to fluctuate because they were $300 last week and now they're back up to $400 to $500 this week. I'm currently not in the market to buy. I'm still waiting to get the funds together, but once I do, it'll probably be one of my first options. The reason? It's a full tower. It's one of the last fully upgradable Macs on the market before Steve Jobs passed away, and Apple went full, let's make it impossible to upgrade as much as possible. Nice job on that one, I guess. That's why people don't like Apple, really, is they aren't the same as like a Windows computer where they can be upgraded anytime. This was the last of those upgraded eras. They can have 12 core systems, 2 CPUs. They're compatible with most GPUs, and you can get them like a 1080 Ti or a Titan X flashed, or I don't know about 2080s yet. I don't know if they've come out with those, but I was on a website that sold Mac Flash GPUs. I mean, if you're really wanting to build a gaming rig out of a Mac, the 5.1's pretty much the way to go. And like I said, they're not terribly expensive. The one I'm looking at, I've had my eyes on. They range from about $260 to $380, and they never seem to come with hard drives. But I've already solved that problem. There are tons of sellers on eBay that have hard drives that are completely compatible with it, that are pre-flashed with Mac OS. So I'm not entirely afraid of that. So my other option, which will cost about the same, it might need a little bit more work to it, because the thing is, the other one I'm looking at is a lot smaller and would fit better on my desk, but it would be a Hackintosh effectively, and that is the Intel NUC. Now, if you don't know what the NUC is, it's this really cool like micro PC or whatever, and I've just learned about them today. I was just watching a couple videos on them earlier. But they're developed by Intel. You can get them with i7s, i5s, you know, that kind of stuff. They just need RAM and an SSD or something like that. Yeah, I think they only can use SSDs. I might be wrong. Like I said, I just now started learning about the NUC, so I don't know really much of anything about them. But they are very common to Hackintosh, and that's an idea I've been having, is building kind of like effectively a Mac Nano, because these things are at the most about almost $1,000 with an external GPU like a 5X80, and you're making about as much, if not more, power than the top of the line Mac Mini that's over $2,000. So you're paying $2,000 for a Mac Mini, or you're paying maybe not even $1,000 for a NUC with an external GPU that can perform strong. Now again, it's a Hackintosh, so it's not a true Mac, but it will be able to run Mojave, it will be able to run all the software I need, and will be as close to a real Mac for less than the cost of an actual Mac. And it'll be a brand new computer, because that's been my main concern, is that the 5.1 is a 9-year-old computer. And, you know, again, it doesn't have USB 3.0, it doesn't have HDMI, it's a DVI setup, unless, I think if you upgrade the graphics card, it changes that out, but from the factory release, it was a DVI thing. It had a USB 2.0 card in it. I don't even think the Wi-Fi antenna was hooked up on the 5.1s from the factory. At least the videos I've watched, they've made it seem like that. So, I mean, it's a really hard decision, because I can get a real Mac that can support Mojave, but I don't know what else it can support after that. With something like the NUC, I know it'll be able to support subsequent releases of Mac OS in the future. I just need to research Hackintoshes some more, and figure out how they work and if it's really worth the trouble. Because from what I was reading on this tutorial I was reading before I made this video, the NUC isn't terribly difficult, but it's for someone who doesn't know coding or of that nature. And plus, the method they have is you need a Mac to do it. And all of my friends are PC Master Race. No one here owns a Mac. So I'd be kind of in trouble unless I bought an old Mac, just one of those junkers you can find on eBay for like $80 that can use the software to update it. Pretty much, like I was saying, it'll be a completely Hackintosh job. It will not be a Windows computer. Like I said, I'm done with Windows right now for as far as like a non-gaming PC goes. I do want to have a Mac experience, and that's why I'm going this route instead of getting another Windows computer, because like I said, I've used Windows my entire life. I mean, it gets old after a while, which is why I've done this. I put that dock on my Windows 10 laptop because I want to try it. I want to experience what it's like to use Mac, and that is like the biggest change so far from an actual Windows computer. But like I said, it'll be treated like a game console. It will not be in here. In fact, I'll be editing completely out in my bedroom at that point. But the primary reason I'm doing this is because, like I was saying, that laptop's having problems on the graphics card side of things. I need a powerful graphics card, and the 1050 Ti is supposed to do the job, but mine is apparently it's showing signs of failure. Like the card is seeming to give out, which is why it's got a cooling mat underneath it. because it's got one fan. So I don't know how in the world it's supposed to keep a 1050 Ti and an i7 cool. Cause I'm pretty sure both of those are very hot running processors. And it's by far one of like the biggest design flaws Asus has with that laptop, and hopefully they redeem it with the next generation of that computer. But it has left a sour taste in my mouth about the ROG stuff, because this computer, like I said, is 2 years old. It shouldn't be having problems like this, and unfortunately, it's out of warranty. So if I ever send it back to get repaired, because I'm not tearing apart a laptop, I can tear apart a Game Boy Advance all day because it's simple, but laptops are kind of like out of my realm of knowledge. So if that needs to get fixed, I'm sending it to Asus to fix. I'm not going to bother with it myself. I do want to build a PC one day. I had actually a tower here that I was going to start working on slowly on building a gaming rig. But my friend Brandon, who runs a Fortnite channel, picked up the case for me. I picked it up for my friend Hayden, who has been, well, actually none of those videos ever got uploaded. He was in a couple videos for this channel, but he's a very popular appearance on my main channel, because it was the case to his gaming rig at one point. He just replaced the case. But yeah, Brandon took over that case, which I got from Hayden, and he's built a gaming rig. It's pretty much 90% finished. He just needs to get Windows and set it all up. I think I don't know what else he needs, but I'm gonna be going the Hackintosh route if I find out how easy it is to do. Maybe not even need Mac OS, like a Mac, to actually help me out here, because like I said, I really don't want to spend a lot of money on this. I'm pretty much looking to spend under 400 bucks. That's kind of like at least for base setups. Obviously the NUC would be good because I would need an SSD, which would be not terribly expensive, and some RAM, which is also not terribly expensive. And then I'd have a working Hackintosh, and it would be completely compatible with any version of Mac OS to come out in the next 10 years. But again, that's the hard part. Someone like me who doesn't know a lot about computers, I know more about game consoles than I do computers. So on the computer side of things, it'd be a lot to ask for me to be able to change code and set this up properly. So I'm going to look into it a lot. Maybe even Hayden can help me. Hayden's never done a Hackintosh, but maybe get time to learn. But as it stands right now, those are my two options: the 5.1 Mac Pro and the NUC with a Hackintosh setup. Because like I said, I'm done with Windows for now. I will come back to it for a gaming setup, but who knows? I might even run Boot Camp on the Mac. I mean, if I can build a strong enough Mac, I'll just run Boot Camp and we'll be fine. But anyway, guys, quick little update while I've been gone, editing rig. And instead of the main channel, when the editing rig does arrive, it'll be on this channel. Everything tech related and gaming stuff will be on this channel. Lifestyle videos and car stuff will be on the other channel. So I've got, like I said, the Switch build series is done. I just gotta edit it all and have it uploaded for you guys, and we'll be ready to go. But anyway, with all that said, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video.